Okay, I'm going to teach you a little bit on how to scale the basic universes in Kamen Rider. Outerversal is a tier that we must learn for today. It's just when you transcend stuff like dimensional hierarchy, you transcend the concept of space, time, or dimensionality, or it's a non-physical realm that is beyond material composition, or it is inaccessibly higher than everything beneath it, which is potentially infinite dimensions. Another way to get there is with platonic concepts, because they completely transcend all spatial and temporal dimensions. So they would be 1A in nature, or outerversal. And as long as a universe, in this case Kamen Rider, has stuff like the collective unconscious, it can also easily scale the universe to outerversal. Why? Because you have stuff like Zhang archetypes, and those are based on concepts, and those concepts are created by the mind, and the mind and the universe are one instead of Carl Jung's idea of, the universe, aka unus mundus. And that would make the universe outerversal by extension, which is why it's a very good thing that platonic concepts and stuff like the collective unconscious are things that are both very much present in the Kamen Rider cosmology. Actually, the entire Toei cosmology. If you want, we can get even crazier due to the nature of Kamen Rider and its cosmology. What if I told you that the Earth is outerversal in Kamen Rider? Would you even believe a word I just said? Now let me explain to you why this is the case. Don't get all crazy on me just yet. The Earth is a conceptual realm. It embodies and holds infinite concepts. In fact, it stated it can hold all phenomena and concepts, and it can manifest them into the Gaia library, or I guess the Gaia memories. Here's a translation, if you really want it. Now, remember what we talked about earlier. If the Earth can contain and hold all these concepts and they're all platonic, would this not be a consideration for outerversal? Because obviously, it is holding an infinite amount of platonic concepts within itself. Another thing you could technically do with the Kamen Rider verse is this thing that can get you to a higher tier called uncountable infinities. Now, a lot of you might not know what that means, but it's essentially just a set of infinity that is beyond countable numbers. Basically, you can say that there's something that's one set of infinity, there's maybe even two sets of infinity, so you'd be two layers into infinity. But uncountable infinities are infinity times infinity, which would make it an uncountable quality. For example, if you have an uncountable infinity for dimensions, then the uncountable infinite dimensions would eventually get to outerversal. And in our case, with the mirror dimensions, there are mirror dimensions within mirror dimensions, and each one has their own set of infinite hierarchies. There are infinities times infinities within infinities times infinity. Not to mention that each universe also contains infinite timelines as well, which means that it could potentially even contain an uncountable infinite amount of mirror worlds within each of these infinite timelines that are contained within a singular universe as well. Obviously, this would count for our next outerversal jump in power, as obviously countable outerversal realms is not a usable thing for us anymore. So, congratulations, Kamen Rider Scalers, you finally got the basic universe to high outerversal. But what if I told you that there is a little bit more? Well, now we have the Cosmo layers, which would be considered a hierarchy of an infinite amount of these high outerversal realms, which would mean that there would be a high outerversal plus cosmology already contained within this universe, because obviously layers into high outerversal, because it's literally verbatim called Cosmo layers. So now we officially, and I do mean officially, have an end to our journey here. If we want to count a basic universe, the basic universes would be high outerversal plus. But wait, there's more. I gotta stop doing that. Some universes have the ability to have reality over fiction transcendence. I don't think you need me to explain this, but reality over fiction transcendence is literally what it sounds like. It is, the universe or the place that you are at that views everything underneath it as fiction. Due to the nature of reality over fiction transcendence, especially in Kamen Rider and the nature of it, it would be an easy qualifier for a 1A jump in power. Due to the fact that we have multiple scans supporting this, we have the ability to say that, very confidently actually, that it would be extraversal. Your average universe can easily get to extraversal for having the ability to have worlds that have reality over fiction over other worlds in their cosmo layers. So now we can talk about how, qualitatively speaking, the multiverse would have to be able to hold an infinite amount of these extraversal places. And that would make that, obviously, infinite layers, because it would need to have the layers to contain this. For reference, extraversal is an outerversal jump from high outerversal, which we've already proven is the case. So, there we go. There's the end of the full scale of the basic universe. And I want you to at least pick up a few of the things that I've talked about so you can at least try scaling on your own. Now, try doing me a favor and try your best to look through this and understand as much as you possibly can. My goal is for you to understand how to scale so that you can spread your own scales. And people will have a better understanding, actually, of how large the cosmology of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai by extension would be. If you really want to see all the scans and etc. that I've used for my scaling, and you want to use them for reference for your scaling, I have them all on Reddit. I felt like I needed somewhere to compartmentalize them, because a lot of people use like a team to scale their stuff. I've never done that, so I kind of need somewhere I can actually store it. But yeah, besides that, yeah, just try your best to learn how to scale, and I hope I tried teaching you something here, so I hope it worked. But that's all I have to say. Bye. Next video is going to be on higher dimensions, obviously. So if you guys understand this and you guys perceive this well, then I will do more.